Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm sorry that I haven't kept up with doing more live streams in the live channel or main videos in the main channel. I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm not quite sure if it's current events. Not quite sure if it's just my time or whatever. But I have not had the enthusiasm towards doing the videos that I've been doing the same way that I used to. It's genuinely changed. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I have really just been kind of go for like 13 years, 12 years with this business, 1 year before interning at recording studios and working until 1 or 4 in the morning. Something changed, but it is what it is. I'm going to be fixing a MacBook today. We have an A1707 that is filled with stickers. And we're going to try and figure out why this MacBook with its stickers is not turning on. So I'm going to place it on the desk. I'm going to take a look at it on the overhead camera. It's a decent enough chair. Your mouth seems off. Huh. My mouth? Well, this is my head. And my mouth is on my head. Works for me. If my mouth is off, like over here or over there, then I'm really screwed. Then I'm really screwed. But I don't think it is. I think you're just fucking with me. Because you're a YouTube person. That's what you all... That's exactly what that is. Alright. So we're going to put the overhead camera on here. So the first things first, looks like my assistant did what is usually supposed to do, unplug items to see if that's why it's not turning on. However, he did not unplug the battery. He unplugged the data cable for the battery without unplugging the actual battery. We will be going over this tomorrow. Always unplug the battery when you're making your measurements. Of course I don't, Rondon. I never do. I would never read what you have to say. Plus, my title is Lewis Stream Something. It can't possibly be wrong. And if my title is not Lewis Stream Something, that means that Restream sucks at changing titles yet again. Which is just really annoying. That's lame. That's highly lame. I don't understand it. I really don't. Why is it that Restream, when I hit Update Title, will update the title on one platform but not another? It does that all the time. Okay, so it looks like here, according to my USB-C amp meter that just fell off the table as I moved it into view, go effing figure, it shows, okay, boot loops ones, 5 volts, 24 milliamps, 19 volts, 82 milliamps, 26 milliamps, 27 milliamps, and it's dead. It never turns on. It's stuck at 16 to 24 milliamps. Let's take the board out of the case and see if we can figure it out. I am very happy that it appears that I have built a somewhat sustainable business. Because I can focus on other things, and when I come back, it's not a litany of, oh my god, this is done wrong, that's done wrong, this is done wrong, that's done wrong. There are basic things that need direction, because when certain things start to become overwhelmed, nobody seeks to change the system or how things work until, like, I come and I'll say, I think this system could be more efficient if, let's say, we have canned responses instead of responding to every email normally, or I think there needs to be someone else doing this so the people doing it don't get swamped, kind of thing. But other than that, I mean, everybody here does what they need to do. We're getting better at writing down procedures and standards for everything, and I'm very, very happy, honored, and humbled that the people that choose to work here choose to work here. I'm a lucky guy. Except for Hi-Hi, of course. He just sits playing his VR all day. He just sits here with his little VR thing all day, tempting us to throw shit at him while he's playing it. There's this one video where he's like playing with his VR and he's doing this with something. He's like, wah, wah. And then Steve just takes a plush toy Pepe and just pelts him with it. I want to upload it to YouTube, but he won't let me. He won't let me. It's hysterical. I'm kidding. I love Hi Hi. He's good at what he does. If Hi Hi wants to learn how to do other stuff here, I would happily give him a promotion. He's one of those people that cares to understand how to do his job well. How are the standards coming along? They're getting somewhere. I'm thinking a wiki makes more sense than GitHub. GitHub doesn't really make any sense for this. Wiki makes a lot more sense, I believe. Wiki definitely makes more sense. So I'm going to probably get rid of the GitHub shit, and I'm going to put it into a wiki, and I have a call with Aryan Rivera later. Amazing trainer. What is Hi Hi's job title? That's the thing, he doesn't really have one. He just kind of does a little bit of everything. So if he wants to become a specific specialist in one thing here, get good at it, get better at it, a promotion will ensue. The thing with Hi Hi is I noticed from this chat that he had a brain. So I don't really think about the position. It's just if somebody seems like they have a brain, I kind of want to take them, and then I'll figure out what to do with them later. But Hi Hi works part-time usually because he has school. He doesn't want to grow up to be some fucking repair shop owner. And I don't blame him. He wants to get a real job. I kind of want a real job sometimes too. Maybe Hi Hi will grow up to work for Apple. Wiki makes more sense. I agree. He's getting high. No, there's no GH and GH there. Welcome to post-COVID depression. You think... It's strange, because there's a lot of people that profited from the last one. Here's the interesting thing. So this is a depression, right? Yet housing prices really don't seem to have done anything. Like, in the last one, you saw housing prices go psh, psh. But like, I'm seeing houses that I looked at that I thought, this is never going to sell. This is a dump. And they're selling for, close to asking price all over the place. So somebody's got money to sweep up all this stuff. It is interesting. This doesn't seem like it's going to have the same pattern as the last one. It doesn't seem like this has the same pattern as the last recession. Maybe it does. Maybe it's just because I was much younger back then that I wasn't paying as much attention to it. Housing in my area hasn't dropped either. Don't understand it. This recession will have massive inflation compared to the last one. Yeah, that's believable. Yeah, like on one hand, I put money in the stock market as a hedge against inflation. On the other hand, I assume the stock market's going to crash at any minute, so I'm constantly taking the money out of it. And every time I see something on the news, like coronavirus ravages next state, and stock market go down, I buy. And then, reopening may be happening soon. Stock go up, I sell. I'm not keeping anything in anything right now. If everything seems very volatile. I definitely don't want to be keeping it in US dollars because that shit's going to be toilet paper soon. That's going to be a steaming pile of toilet paper. Gold is mooning. I don't know. Am I getting in too late? I don't understand what that means, Q. Unfortunately, you think protesting is a thing where, to people, got to feed their families. Yeah, I don't understand that sentence, I'm sorry. Perhaps I'm being stupid, but I don't get it. Wonder how long before the U.S. tanks its economic superpower. Huh. We'll see. It's really interesting, because even after like something is on the down, even after, how do I put this? Something can fail, but still kind of coast along for a really long time just on fumes. It's hard to tell how long that is. You know, I think New York real estate has been doing that for a long time, coasting on fumes. You have so many freaking vacancies, how the fuck are prices still as high as they are? If you have over 170,000 luxury apartments that are vacant constantly, 250,000 or so, why do they all still cost so much? It's strange. It's very strange. It's time, you know, a lot of stuff here has been coasting for a really long time, and a reckoning is due. Okay, so we have the MacBook out of the computer. I still don't get it, Q's. You're killing me. Okay, so everything has been unplugged now. Now we are going to take a look at the MacBook. And it is very, very dusty. Now, one of the things that I always like to do is I always look for my visual cues before fast-forwarding to measuring everything. Remember, it's easier to use your eyes than it is to use your brain. Much easier to use your eyes than to use your brain. Your brain takes up more energy than almost everything in your body. Then again, you kind of have to use your eyes to use your brain, so that's probably a shit analogy. But you get the idea. You get what I'm going for there. Alright, so it peaked to 700 milliamps at 5 volts. That's really weird. So I'm kind of curious. Why would it do that? Is there a rail that's shorted? Your videos, you're making history with standards. I love your vids. Thank you. Well, we'll see. That's if I do it properly. Then there's a lot of work involved to do it properly, and I got to start taking it more seriously. First thing I got to do is make a wiki and figure out if I can... Yeah, first thing I got to do for standards is I really got to start a wiki, not a GitHub, because GitHub doesn't make any damn sense for that. So I got to install one on my subdomain of my site. I'm going to work on that tonight. Okay, so it looks like my PP Bus G3 Hot is... Oh, come on, show up on screen. There we go. PP Bus. Yeah, that's not a short. We don't have a short circuit there. Terrible Fire says people lose their shit at people distance sunbathing in the park, but they're cool people nipple to nipple protesting. I honestly like the fact that there's a lot of people doing the protesting, because here's what it does. When I said that my store costs, let's say, 18 or 20,000 or 22,000 a week to operate, and people said, you're a piece of shit for not closing. I can't believe you didn't close. You know, think of people dying. What about death? What about dying? Money's not worth your life. They were making a strange calculation. What they were doing is they were ignoring the fact that I'm not weighing death versus money. I'm weighing a 0.4% chance that I die if I get it as someone who is in the 18 to 44 age range with no pre-existing conditions, versus complete and utter destruction of everything I've worked for 13 to 15 years, and really, really awful depression for the rest of my life as a result of losing out on that opportunity. And what the protest did, which I was really, again, I'm not saying this is a wise ass, I was happy with it, is what the protest did is they showed that this whole thing of, you want people to die? You gonna care about people dying? was crap. Because that's not how anybody makes decisions. Nobody makes decisions based on this rigid structure. They make it based on probabilities. They make it based on statistics. It's not, well, do you want to ride a nice bike or do you want to be alive? It's no. What is it to me? Like the 0.000% chance that I get hit by an Uber on the way home and then die versus genuinely enjoying my transportation versus being on the train where I feel really, really depressed throughout the day. It's not a black and white thing. So with the protest, it was, okay, do you want to risk your 0.4% chance of death if you get it, maybe lower, or do you want to stay silent during one of the arguably worst abuses of power that have happened in a short few months in a really long time? Like, do you want to stay silent during something that really, really hurts you to see? Do you want people to think that this is okay? And a lot of people that took to the streets said, the 0.04% chance that I will die as 18 to 44 with no pre-existing conditions is worth it to me to be able to stand in solidarity with other people and say, fuck that, I think what's going on is wrong. Whether you agree with the protest, whether you think they go too far, whether you think they don't go far enough, that's irrelevant for the purposes of this discussion. It showed that when faced with this, people that are on often the same side of the political spectrum saying, Lewis, you're a total piece of shit for not just giving up your entire livelihood and everything you've ever worked for because of 0.04% chance of death, it kind of lets them understand it, right? So let's say someone's talking about microaggressions and they're laughing about it, and they're on the other side of the political spectrum. Let's say somebody's like more right, and they're laughing about microaggressions and how they don't exist and blah, 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 and this is... Well, one of the things you have to do is you really have to get people to understand it from their point of view, not from yours, from theirs. So what I would do to that person who thinks that microaggressions don't exist in any way, shape, or form is tell them to go to New York University or Yale University wearing a MAGA hat with a T-shirt that has some Ben Garrison comics on it. They'll get it. They'll understand. Maybe they don't beforehand, but they'll get it afterwards. You really have to come to people where they are, not where you are. So with the protest, what I liked about it is I could walk up to those people that said, Lewis, you're an idiot. Why don't you just go to your money tree and print $22,000 or $30,000 or whatever dollars a week? Or Lewis, you're an idiot. Why don't you just start a new business after your current business gets destroyed because it's so easy, rather than reopen, have employees wear masks, have customers distance, and clean things off, and tell people if they have any sort of immunodeficiency to stay the fuck home and we'll pay your salary and do a little extra work among us. You should have just closed and destroyed your entire life. Well, now you know how I feel, because something happened that was really, really bad, that affected you personally, that made you feel like you were threatened or people that are like you were threatened, and you walked out into the street and said, fuck that. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. As long as you now understand how the business owners feel. All right, I got an A1502 that draws 0.03 amps. What should I check? Haha, you have a missing PM sleep S4L. You get to check everything. No, I'm serious. You have missing PM sleep S4L. Check out my playlist, missing PM sleep S4L, and have fun with that one. It could be a number of things. Is PP5ES5 present? Is PP-Bus G3 hot present? Is PP3B3S5 present? Is PP3B3S5 shorted to ground? Is U1950 corroded? Again, PM sleep S4L missing is literally could be anything. Could be anything. All right. It's likely more an emotional decision than a logical one, protesting during COVID. Having an outlet for rage is immediate, while contracting something is just a maybe. But that's the thing. That's the thing. Because if you had a 90% chance of death, a 50% chance of death, even a fucking 5% chance of death, you'd probably see less people in the street. Because they'd have that emotional reaction, because what you said is emotions. They would have that emotional reaction of, no, I'm not going outside, I'm scared. But they didn't. It doesn't matter if you have pre-existing conditions. Doesn't matter if you have pre-existing conditions. Okay. All right, 1 second. One second. One moment. I just want to introduce you to my friend Numbers. Oh, seriously? YouTube is not even allowing me to... Oh my god, I can't even load YouTube Studio to go to my own old video to find the damn link that I included. Oh, that's awful. Okay. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready, my friend that doesn't listen to Numbers? Bada bing. Pre-existing conditions don't matter at all. They don't matter at all. Let's just take a look. Where... Hi, Lewis. MacBook Air failed an update and no longer able to boot as my disk is not detected, though it's visible in recovery. Any fix? Sounds like your EFI got fucked. Welcome to the world of Mac, where updating your operating system corrupts your BIOS. Keep buying Apple, folks. Keep buying Apple. All right. If you're between the age of 18 and 44, here's the death count. No pre-existing. Here's the death count. Pre-existing or ill of some way. Pre-existing illnesses, conditions, immunodeficiencies have nothing to do with it. All right. Where was I? Thank you, No Trap. Back to the desk. So PB Bus G3 Hot is not shorted to ground. Okay. Also, let's see if you guys can see what's here. Do you notice? Do you see anything here? What's that? What's that? What's that? Ew. That's gross. It's a pubic hair. That's how you... This is how you get corona. Nasty fucking MacBooks. Alright, we got a PP bus. It's 12.6. Not the highest PP bus, but it is a PP bus. Alright, we're just going to go down our list of rails. Now we know that we have PP3v3 underscore G3 hot, right? Because we need that for the CD3215s to turn on, and CD3215s have to be turning on to be getting 20 volts. So next up, we're going to check... Wait a second. Wait one motherfucking second. What is that? And how did we miss that on the first look? I know how we missed that on the first look. We missed that on the first look because chat wasn't paying attention. I asked you to look around the board with me, and what did you do, chat? You baited me with Corona chat. You baited me with Corona talk. Every last one of you. Absolute, utter scumbags. Degenerates. All of you. Degenerates. You didn't zoom. What? Okay, boomer. What's your eyesight? 2300? No, I didn't see it either. I'm a fucking idiot. We need better chat standards. I agree. We definitely need better chat standards. By the way, Paul fixed my buttons. He claims they have water damage. I think that's bullshit. He thinks I'm being a customer. I kind of am. But see that? We got white balance back and all that. So, what do you think the chances are that this is actually going to be what's causing it? So let's take a look on the schematic at what those resistors and capacitors over there are actually for. We baited you and you fell for it. Who's the sucker, says Terrible Fire. Me! I'm the sucker! But you spend your time watching a sucker. So what does that make you? Alright. A schematic and board view. It is your internet, NDD, whatever your name is there. Okay, so what are these capacitors and resistors for? What does this do? That's for banjo. 0.95 volts, VCCIO. So, what is PP, VCCIO, SO, CPU? What is VCCIO? Well, okay, so we have CPU, so it's for the CPU, VCC, that's voltage, IO for in and out. So, you have CPU V-core, and then you have VCCIO. CPU V-core is the power that the CPU uses to actually work and do its CPUing. VCCIO is the power the CPU gets so that it could speak to the chip that makes CPU power and say, I want 0.7 volts. Wait, no, never mind. I want 0.9 volts. Wait, no, I want 1.7 volts. The CPU needs to be able to ask for power before it gets it. And the CPU is going to communicate and say, here's how much power I want. Here's how much voltage I want. Modern CPUs do this. They're not like those old CPUs where you set your voltage on the board with jumpers and shit. The voltage is set dynamically. It scales. It flops. It flip-flops. And that is that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some magic, authentic Amtech NC559 V2TF flux to that board. Feels good, doesn't it? It's a beautiful effing flux. Beautiful. Smells nice, doesn't it? Those in the future will be able to smell through the stream. So I'm preparing for it now by including that in my, ask people to smell the flux, let it linger. Now I'm going to take my hot air station and I am going to heat that flux like I was overclocking an AMD processor in 2003. That's right. Tech Center, it sounds like you have a short circuit on PP3V3S5, PP5ES4, PP5ES3, or PP5ES5, or PP5ESO, PP3V3S3, or PP3V3SO. The chip creating PP3V3S5 is turning on and off because one of the rails it's creating, or sub-rails created upstream of it, downstream from it, is shorted to ground. And you are going to have to find every single rail that is created by the chip that creates PP3V3S5, as well as the rails that are downstream from them, and figure out which one is shorted. That is your homework. Alright, as you can see, we have put a little bit of flux and hot air and rework there, but it still looks kind of nasty. So now it's dried off. I'm going to use my little knife here, and I'm just going to use my knife, clean it a little, and I'm going to remove the dirt. See that? All that dirt is now gone. Now I'm going to take my soldering iron, and I'm going to do this. Now, oftentimes, once you have done your flux and hot air moving everything around, you do a little bit of rubbing on the end, and a little bit of rubbing that you do on the end is going to reveal the solder pad again, and it's also going to kind of make the component itself, the end of it, a little nicer. But here, that's not in the cards, because there was no real metal on the end of that to solder to anymore. That cap was done for. And also you can see that the pad that cap was going to is also pretty screwed up. So let's just take a look on the schematic and the board view for a moment. So this pad, I'm going to click on the exact pad that is gone. is this one. This is going to connect here to here. And then it goes down there. So I'm probably going to want to wire from here to there, that resistor, when I put a new cap there. And since I'm replacing the cap, I may just replace the resistor as well to be nice. Make sure that this area is in better order. Alright, I knocked off the resistor as well. I thought I had switched back to the microscope. My bad for missing that. So I'm probably going to wind up doing this. Yeah, I'm going to scrape this. Scrapey, 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 scrapey. Okay. Now I'm going to take a donor board. Now, why does Lewis work with donor boards? Why don't I use a book for everything? A little book of resistors and all that. The reason I work with the donor board is because it makes everything quicker. You have the components right then and there. Looking each individual component up will take you much longer. Having the repairs take longer means more aggravated customers. Aggravated customers means 1-star reviews, and 1-star reviews means you're no longer in business. No longer in business means no money. No money mean no food. No food mean hungry Lewis. I don't want to be a hungry Lewis. I'm actually a little bit of a hungry Lewis. Did I tell you guys I lost almost 30 pounds since last year? I've been hovering around 157 to 160. And at this time last year, I was up to 188. I was taking some medicine that was kind of made me gain. And they said, even if you stop taking it, it'll take probably a few years for you to lose or anything. I started taking that medicine at 168, went to 188. Now it sucked. I got a rowing machine from my apartment. Spend about half an hour to an hour every single day rowing. I have time to listen to an audiobook now for that time during the day. I changed my diet a little bit, got rid of a lot of the carbs. I miss my fucking burritos. I love burritos so much. And I haven't had them in a while. Doing my weightlifting, I really have been using protein shakes in the middle of the day rather than just straight up meals for a lot of stuff. And I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, I am a little hungry. But not totally hungry, but a little hungry. Muscle isn't heavier than fat. That's BS, someone says. Yeah. And masks don't work either, right? Vaccines are terrible for you. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tin my wire. See what I do? I'm just going to gently go over it like this. And now my wire has been tinned. So now I've gotten rid of the... So now the wire doesn't have that insulation on it anymore, so I can do this. Congrats on losing weight. You can still have burritos just in moderation. No, I can't, because that's not going to work. Because I'm going to have a burrito, and then I'm going to want another burrito, and then I'm going to wind up with 3 or 4 of them a day again, and then I'm going to be a fat fuck again. Like, sometimes Erica will show me dessert and say, you can have a cake. Oh, you want a cookie? She'll still to this day ask me for a cookie, and I always go, no cookie. No cookie. Because that's the thing. It only takes cheating once. Like, once you cheat once, it's out the door. None at all. Fuck that. I achieve goal. Once I achieve goal, then I will do it. It's hard to have discipline. It really is. But, like, I'm not giving myself even one. And people have said that doesn't work. That's not sustainable. You can't do that. Like, my scale tells me I lost 30 pounds, so... I'm stubborn. So it really does. I should really be using hot air to put this together. Hungry enough to eat a cookie? No cookie. The polarizing filter on the lens. Yes, I do, but I probably have way too much light. Microscope to use. I should have a link somewhere in the description. This is fine. I just want to make sure it's not touching the resistors to the left at all. I think this may actually be soldered straight to the resistor on the right. Damn it. Gotta move that over a little. I don't know, Pinnock. I think you would have to buy one that... They come with different bufangs. Like, usually when you buy it, it'll ask you what size is your bottom bracket, and you'll fill it in. So I always choose the 68 to 73. So you're going to have to choose a different one. I should probably use some more flux. A pound of muscle does weigh as much as a pound of fat. Indeed, that is true, because they're both a pound. But muscle in general weighs more than fat when you're looking at the same amount of it. Alright, that's where I want it to be. Usually around 63%. I gotta double check it, Joseph. But the more that number goes to being more mail-in, the less I really want to spend time in New York City. So what we're going to do now is see if this fixes our problem and see if it turns on, which I bet it probably will. The reason that it was jumping up to 700 milliamps prior is because I think it wanted to turn on, but wasn't because the CPU wasn't getting anything, and then it turned itself off. So now you're going to see it turns itself straight on. Yep, this is turning on faster than R. Kelly at a playground. Look at this. 19 volts, 1.3 amps. That is on right there. Weight isn't always a good indicator of health. Spoken like someone that doesn't want to lose weight. Can you be unhealthy and thinner? Yes. Am I personally healthier at 158 than I am at 188? Absolutely. Alright, this is a happy MacBook. This thing's turning on. It's great. Rondon, yes. Correct. I mean, that's the thing, though. When you're looking at the rents in New York City, you really fucking need all of it. Like, it can't be a percentage for a certain period of time. It's got to be all. You need a lot of it to make it worth the money here. Give it a read. It will educate you on COVID. Listen, am I aware that there are people that live with side effects that really, really, really suck long after they get sick? Yes, I am. But I'm still not buying into the I am going to destroy my entire life from now into the future for 10 or 30 years. So I'm just not. No. I think that I did what I was supposed to. I think we did a good job of it. Only one person here actually wound up getting corona, bad enough to notice it. Actually, two. And we had one of them got it from their parent who they were staying home with. They got it while they were staying home. So someone stayed home to avoid giving it to their parents, and their parent actually wound up getting it and giving it to them. Hysterical. He lost the sense of smell for 2 days and like that was it. And the other guy lost the sense of smell and that was it. 2 weeks later, fine, bam. Do I think people should not be wearing masks? No, I think people should wear masks. I think people should be cleaning. I think people should be taking basic fucking precautions. I think it's important that people take basic precautions. I'm not ruining my life over it, like it is what it is. People can be mad that I chose to not ruin my life entirely over it, but I don't feel like ruining my life over it, and if that makes me an absolute fucking prick and piece of shit, then I'll live with it. I'll definitely live with some people calling me an asshole more than I'll live with a bank account that's negative 6 figures and banks and landlords and people screaming at me. Or, hell, one of the things I remember thinking is, Model Sporting Goods is bankrupt now. There's no Models to go back to. I can't go back to my old job. It doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, so this is it. This computer works. I'm going to leave a note in the ticket, and we go on to the next one. The thing that bothers me with the COVID shit is I either meet people who are all in the direction of COVID is fake, it was designed by the Illuminati, Alex Jones told me so, and then I meet the other set of people which are like, if you don't destroy your entire life over this, that just shows what a piece of shit you are. Like, I'm going to find a picture of you standing 5.5 feet from someone instead of 6 feet from something and fucking send it to the governor and have him put you in prison or whatever. It's like this. I want to meet a middle ground. Where's the middle ground? There's no middle ground in the world anymore. There really isn't. There's no middle ground in the world anymore. There's no nuance. Everybody is so polarized and so at each other's throats and so vibrating with anger and aggravation that nuanced middle ground really isn't there. Like, how about this is real, but I don't want to die, so I'm going to take some measures to probably keep myself from dying, but I don't want to, fuck over my entire life for the next 20 years, so I'm going to be careful. I don't know. All right, time to find another effing MacBook. Where is my other MacBook? First thing I got to do is save that video. I live in Switzerland and people wear the mask on the chin. Yeah, that's the thing. You need to become such a fucking Karen to be able to actually enforce this that you're going to drive yourself nuts. Just don't do it. Because if I went outside and I looked around and I got mad every time I saw someone wearing a mask around their chin, I wouldn't be able to live my life. So, I do it at work. But again, even at work, being a Karen is really fucking aggravating. Because, there'll be someone wearing their mask on the nose and not on the face, and I'll have to, But, there's only so many times you can remind someone in a day before you just want to kill yourself because it gets so annoying having to Karen and Karen and Karen and Karen and Karen and Karen and Karen. It's, aggravating. But I do. It is what it is. This is my... It's the first time at my business that I really get to be that, Model Sporting Goods kind of boss. Or that, that Home Depot supervisor kind of boss. where like I'm put in a position where I really fucking don't want to be an asshole, but I have to be an asshole. And then I'm put in a position where like there are people that will kind of prompt me to be an asshole by like not wearing it and then laughing every time I walk by when I ask them to put it on, and then doing it over and over again after I talk to them, and then they're kind of confused when they get fired why it happened. But like it sucks. Like this stuff, it's not fun. Because really, in order to enforce something like this, you need to become the type of tyrant that you would never want to deal with in your own life. You have to kind of have that hall, the hall monitors in school? Like, you have to become one of those people. You have to become a hall monitor. That checks people's bathroom pass, and if they stayed out longer than the fucking bathroom pass, writes them up. Like, that's the kind of person you need to be to enforce this type of mandate. And nobody wants to be that human being. Like me, I'm lucky. I can just fire people if they don't. Because I don't want to be that kind of Karen. I fucking hate being that type of Karen. Like, I don't have it in me to do it. It's just get away from me if you're gonna put me in the position where that's how I have to act all the time. Just get away from me. But if you want to enforce it on a countrywide level, that's the thing. That's why I laugh at the people that say that you have to have a mask mandate. I see how annoying it was just enforcing a mask mandate at work. Like, good luck fucking enforcing that shit anywhere else. It's easy in countries where it's already part of the culture in Asia, where they're used to wearing it, and like you don't have to carry the crap out of people, and if someone's sick, they just naturally put it on and they wear it normally like they're supposed to because it's a part of their culture. They're that evolved. We are not that evolved, apparently. I wish. De Blasio said with snitch line report people social distancing. And that's the thing, there's the cultural aspect of it. So once you have a mayor who is a cunt rag, who sets up a line that you can call to get people in trouble because they may be standing too close together, you've now created this cultural rift between the pro-mask and the anti-mask people. And you take people who are in the middle of the line, and then you take them and you move them to the fuck wearing a mask. I'm not doing it just because the tyrant is asking me to. And it's fucking childish, but it's the way human brains work. It's not the way people are doing it in Asia. This is not how people are acting in Japan, but it's how they're acting here, because we haven't yet gone through all that shit. It's kind of like when you compare countries that have gone through the Enlightenment to countries that really haven't gone through the Enlightenment yet. Like, there's more stages to that. So how do you act when a large portion of the population is sick? Like, Japan understands it. We fucking don't. We get into all this ridiculous, childish, horseshit, bullshit crap about it. And there's not, again, if you try in your head, if you try to talk to people about it, or if you even try to rationalize why it is what it is, how do I put this? If you allow let me erase that and start again. If you actually become a little mad or aggravated inside every time you see someone with their mask around the chin, just give up, because you'll wind up jumping off a bridge. It will drive you crazy. You're not, like, you can't do it. Gary Yourofsky had a video on this where he's a almost lifelong vegan, I guess, and he talked about when he switched, and he talked about why he stopped doing vegan activism. And a big part of it is, once he bought into the idea, like, once he gave you all the arguments, so here's food that tastes good, here's food that's actually more nutritious for you, here's what's happening to the animals, here's how you could pretty much have a diet that's more healthy, still lift weights, still be in shape without having to do this. Okay, do you see what's happening to them in this house? Do you see how they're, like, kept in shitty little cages and they have their fucking beaks lasered off and all that crap? Oh yeah, I see that, I just don't care. What happened with him is he started to hate people. So the reason that Gary Yourofsky, at least from my interpretation of what he said, the reason that Gary Yourofsky stopped being a vegan activist is because in order to be a vegan activist, he would have to educate people on all the things that were wrong fucked up with the way that we consume meat. And, listen to a cow scream in agony as its kids are taken away and all this shit. And once he would actually see that people don't care about it, he would not be able to deal with other humans. He hated humans. So the natural progression of that is to hate humans. So if you think to yourself, this disease, this virus, can legitimately spread ridiculously quickly and kill millions of people, and the one thing you can do to prevent it is just wear this little covering over your face, and you can't even be asked to do that, you piece of... If you do that and you look around at the landscape of human beings that are not able to do that, you're going to end your day having genuine, deep-rooted resentment for all of humanity, and it's going to fuck with your ability to socialize with people. It's also going to fuck with your ability to be productive in the world at all. And can't do that, you know? You can't, it's not gonna, like, you can choose to do that, I suppose, but it's not a good survival strategy. Like, there's a comment in here that just shows it. Like, someone said the left are crying for these plastic masks, but they moan about plastic bottles killing whales. I mean, not really. They're asking for cloth masks. And, like, see, like, just the fact that we have this, the left wants this, the right does this. Like, Japan doesn't do that. They don't. They just see pandemic. Here's some stuff that we should do. We don't need to even make it a law. We don't need it to be a law because everybody in the country is actually on the same page when something bad happens, and they volunteer to do things, like, without having to have a mandate. We're not there yet. We're still, the left wants this, the right wants that. Yeah. Like, you know, it shows you, like, just how devolved we are. What are your thoughts on UK retail staff not having to wear a mask? It's kind of stupid. Again, it's the word "have." Like, I'm depressed. It's the wrong question. I'm depressed that we're at the point where we're even discussing having to versus not having to. It should just be a question of, do you want to? Because you want to try and prevent the spread of it. If evolve means being oppressed by a tyrannical government, I'll pass. It's not even... See, you're missing the point, Chuck. You didn't listen to what I said. You're doing what my YouTube commenters usually do, and it's sad because you're in the Twitch chat. It's not about oppression. It's not about mandates. It's about wanting to do it. I don't think there should be a mask mandate. I don't think there should be a requirement. What I would like to do, however, is live in a country where everybody can get on the same page and say, the law doesn't say that I need to do this. The law doesn't require me to do this, but I want to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, not everything that is bad should be illegal. I think that cheating on your spouse and doing it behind her back is a piece of shit thing to do. It's not illegal, not against the law. You can do it. I would prefer to marry someone who is not cheating on me because it's the law. They're not cheating on me because it's just the right thing to do. They want to be a good person. They want to do the right thing. You get it? Like, that's the whole concept. It's not... having to have it as a mandate is not what I mean by evolved. I mean the requirement to even discuss a mandate rather than just people naturally doing it because they want to do it is what I mean by not evolved. And calling de Blasio a cunt rag is an insult to cunt rags. Yeah, you're kind of right there. We got to come up with a new word for him. What do you think about capacitors in parallel or short? Well, many capacitors in parallel are short. They're not. How do you... No. You're not... There's not one... It's not... They're not all shorted. Only one of them is shorted, but they're all on the same line. You're not measuring individual caps without taking them off the board. I'm not wearing because the science behind it isn't solid and conclusive, and I've read plenty of papers. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. LOL. Yeah, let's see. All right, let's see. That stuff is kind of funny. Yeah, let's see. Where did I put my? Where did I put my? Yeah. One moment. Let's see. YouTube is still not allowing me to load my YouTube Studio. That is so annoying. Ah. Or did they change URLs and interfaces again? I miss YouTube Classic Studio. I really do. They fucked this up so badly with the new version. Da, da, da. All right, so for the Nat Fanny guy that's pretending he reads, he reads, I will have a link shortly. Give me a moment. So let's see. When people scream or shout everything they say they cannot breathe with a mask and not be out of breath proves they can wear it just fine. Hell, I did deadlifts at work with the mask on, so I mean, we actually had a discussion about that because I was kind of curious whether you could. After I deadlifted 300 pounds with mask on, I was, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I like wearing that thing. I despise wearing it. It's aggravating. It's annoying. Yeah. It's very annoying, but YouTube's so fucked up. The YouTube Studio and the search feature. This used to be so much faster, and they used to give you an option where you could go back to YouTube Classic. They just got rid of it. It's like not only are we gonna code a crappier system, but we're gonna cram it down your throat. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've not met a single person who has the virus. I don't know a single person who died of it. I hear people say this person died, but then I look into it and they had cancer. We're not using anecdotal evidence when it comes to 5 billion people, are we? Okay, now I can throw you. Now I can put you on a box on the shelf and pretend you don't exist now. Let's see. What is next? I have no sympathy for doomers. Doomer? Is that like boomer? I hate humanity, but repress those feelings for that reason. Yeah, that's be careful if you take yourself down a path where it's likely you're going to hate people for just existing. Hold on. Damn you, YouTube search feature. Damn you! This is so slow. So slow. VK, those are just shitty people. Ah, finally, here we go. To my man that says he reads science. Okay, I got something for you. Mr. Science Man. Science Man! Alright, that's for not funny or ya funny or not funny or whatever the fuck his name is. Let's see. What do we got here? In Japan, it doesn't happen because people think it's a good thing, but because there's a firm culture of not inconveniencing others no matter what. I would argue that that's a little bit more evolved. Wanting to be better to your fellow person and a strong desire to want to do better to your fellow person, I mean, if that's not more evolved, I don't know what is. Maybe that you'll advance further as a culture, as a society, if... Do you see Donut Video? Donut Media? Yes. I have about, at this point, about 95 or 100 emails in my inbox asking if I saw it. Why don't you learn how to touch type? Because I type faster than you, typing the way I do? Why don't you pipe down, mofo? How about this? You know what? Let's do it. Let's do this. Game is on. Before we fix the next board, I'm gonna fuck you up in a game of Type Racer. You guys ready? We are going to bring the motherfucking smackdown on this asshole. Alright. Trying to teach me how to type. Let's do this. Alright, we're gonna race. We're gonna beat your ass in. Alright. You ready? You ready? Joe, that's the wrong... If you've... The wrong time for a philosophical question, I'm afraid. We got a race to do here. Ah, goddamn. Second place. I fucked up towards the end. We'll do this again. Rematch, mofo. Alright. Guest with the green car. I beat the rest of you fucks. We'll do. Who's the snail typing at 55 words a minute? Yeah, let's do again. I fucked up towards the end. I was trying to read the little donation that came across the screen. Look at me and my excuses. Here. Oh, come on. Who's this fuckface at 6 words a minute? Here we go. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Let's do this. One more race. This is primer. Grounded like to the earth. I mean, not tethered. I mean, we're blocking whatever keeps it moving forward, and so they flop. Inside the box, it's like a street. Both ends are cul-de-sacs. I mean, this isn't frame dragging or wormhole magic. This is basic. Okay, there we go. But I fuck up too much with this keyboard. Here, we're going to do a rematch. I'm going to fucking school you all again, but I'm going to do it with the Microsoft keyboard. I'm not satisfied with the margin by which I've schooled that Twitch mofo. So we are going to school him again. I want a better winning margin. Beating your ass in by 10% is not good enough for me. We're going to beat your ass in by like 30%, 40%. Shit, I'm going to finish the game before you guys even get in the page. How about it? All right. Bing. Taking out the big guns. Fucking Microsoft 600, baby. Oh, shit, this one doesn't have legs. Crap! Damn it! I chose the keyboard that doesn't have legs. Fuck! That's awesome, MB Frenchie. Fuck that guy. You should leave him a 1 star, seriously. I would. Leave him a 1 star. I chose the one that doesn't have legs. God damn it. Second place? Yeah, that's because I didn't have a keyboard with legs. Be right back. 1 second. I'm going to get the keyboard with legs. So did anybody notice that was from Primer? That the last type race was from the best movie about time travel in existence? They filmed that movie on, I think, a $6,000 or $7,000 budget. Here we go. Check it out. See, this keyboard has legs on it. That fucked me up. Still an excuse. Second place is shameful. I shouldn't be getting only second place. I should be beating you all by a large margin. Prove my point. Making fun of my typing. Making fun of my typing. All right. Let's do this, mofo. 2 fucking fingers. I'm gonna beat your ass in, Teresa. In this type race. And there's something you should know about me, about Inception. An idea is like a virus, resilient, highly contagious. The smallest seed of an idea can grow. It can grow to define or destroy you. Second place. Who's the purple card cheater? Nobody signed it with names, so I can't even see who is, I don't know which one of you is which. I hope the purple car is not Teresa. Yeah. I can't type with more than 2 fingers. I don't know how other people do it, but I can't. Okay, last one. After this, I gotta fix a board. Last one, alright? Motherfucker. Who the hell got 139? Damn. Lost by 2. 2 letters. Probably typing with a mask around their chin. That's probably what it is. Fuck, I said that was my last one, but one more. Okay, one more. Who's typing at 49 words a minute? I think if I didn't have this mat here, I would do better. I'm thinking of taking the mat off. I'm really getting to the point like those cyclists that like want their legs to be a 1/4 inch thinner. Who on Wall Street, when your index is low, Dow Jones ain't got times for the bums. They wind up on Skid Row with holes in their pockets. They plead with you, buddy, can you spare the dime? But you ain't got the time. Fuck you, little red car! Fuck you, red car! That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to beat that red car once. Suck my dick, red car! Alright, here. We gotta do a little... Yeah, let's get this game on. Let's get a nice level playing field here. Literally level. Get the desk level. Let's get this ready. How do you know? They're all guessed. There's no way to tell which one's which. Huh? Hell no. Okay. Move this over to the right. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs, but he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. I fucked up at the end, god damn it! Still won, but still, I fucked up terrible at the end there. That was shameful. I didn't put a comma on mouth, and I kept typing, and instead of hitting Control A and backspace, I actually backspaced 1. Still beat all of you, though. Easily. Easily. I think I've made my point. Who else wants to make fun of my typing? Who else wants to say I don't type right? Just because I type with 2 fingers. I will smoke you all. Sick and tired of people that make fun of my typing. It's like those people that, like, there was this one guy while I was leaving a bike shop yesterday. He was staring at my bike the whole time, didn't say a word. As I'm riding away, the guy says, "Learn to pedal." And I was with my coworker who was helping me bring the other one back, so I just looked back and I said, "Learn how to say wise ass shit when somebody's in your face, you fucking bitch." You know? Or, it's like, yeah, yes, I have a motor on my bike. How much you want to bet I deadlift more than you? How much you want to bet that every last motherfucker that's actually said out loud, "Oh, learn to pedal," deadlifts half what I do? Exactly. Tell me I don't know how to type. I'll type you any day of the week, mofo. I will fuck you up with 2 fingers. Actually, I shouldn't say that. That's yeah. That could be taken the wrong way. I will not fuck you with 2 fingers. Or 1 finger. Or any fingers, actually. Because that would be weird. We don't have that type of relationship. All right. Let's get out of this. Being ridiculous here. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to get started on this filthy MacBook that's not turning on. Let's see if we can figure out why it's not working and make it work again. I'm going to turn on my power supply. We're going to turn on the power supply software. And my charging cable is not plugged in. If you want it to work, you probably should plug in your charging cable. Whoops. Yeah, one sec. I have one of those power supplies with terminals where it doesn't have a hole in the middle of it. So it's really, really difficult to get the wire to go around because once you screw the little piece of plastic onto it, it just pops right off. It's really annoying. I like Circuit Specialist power supplies, I really do, but the lack of holes on the terminals, banana terminals, sucks. There should be holes there so I can put wires and then screw it on. It's very easy for them to pop right out. Okay, so as you can see, they said that this doesn't turn on, but it clearly does, so I think the fan is doing some heavy lifting right now. Yep, I have no idea what this is about. This already works, so I have... Yep, this already turns on. This turns on just fine. Let's make sure I got the right ticket. IBM Model M if you really want to win, that is. I'll beat you typing on my Android phone. Videos in life have helped me get through the tough parts in mine. I got promoted to a sysadmin, so I like to share the love. Tivim. Thank you very much. Tivim to you too. Alright, well, I'm going to call it a stream at that. You got to watch a repair. We got to dick around a little. We got to argue. I got to curse at chat. You got to play some Type Racer. I'll try not to be a stranger. We'll get to do this back and forth a little more often. Thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.